What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and we're going to switch things up a little bit today. Now, I've done these before, but not yet for the 2022 season, and that is a tier list. We're going to be grading each Yankees individual performance so far, about 25 games into the 2022 season, and yeah, we're doing it via the tier list. So what we got here is you have an incredible tier, really good tier, can't complain tier, neutral / need to see more, disappointing, and then awful. For you guys who are quite familiar with me, whether it's on Twitter or here on YouTube, I definitely tend to lean optimistic, but there are going to be some guys that are going to land in the awful category. There's going to be some guys that land in the incredible category, and some people that'll land right in the middle of the pack. So let's just get right into it. Not sure how long this video is going to be, but drop a like on this if you enjoy. Maybe I'll do like 2 or 3 more of these throughout the season. Not too much, but I think this is a good way to kind of just evaluate where we're at, player-wise, performance-wise, stats-wise. So let's get into it. We're going to follow the order that they have here. This is a tier list that's like already been custom made. By the way, I'll leave the link down in the description below. But let's start out with this. Jordan Montgomery. So far, Montgomery has made 5 starts and has a 2.88 ERA. So we'll leave him off the incredible category, because incredible, I consider that like you're on pace to, one, minimum make the All-Star game, or possibly in contention for like award or something. So Montgomery we'll leave at really good, because he's been solid this year, no doubt. Third time through the order, he does seem to struggle just a little bit, but he gives us 5 innings at least each and every time out, maybe 2 runs, which 2.88 ERA, that's really solid. So we'll put him at really good. Wandy Peralta. Off the top of my head, I'm going to look at his stats now, but off the top of my head, I feel like he's kind of struggled just a little bit, although reliever stats are kind of tough to judge. So far, he's made 8 appearances and has thrown 8 1/3 innings. I guess I am a fake fan because he has a 2.16 ERA, but yeah, it does look like he's not striking out a lot of guys, and his FIP and expected stats aren't too great. So for now, I'm just going to leave him at neutral, and disclaimer, that might be the case with a lot of the relievers. Not a lot of them, but when it comes to relievers this early on, it's really tough to evaluate. So if there's going to be one category that's going to be heavily filled in for like the neutral / need to see more, it's going to be a guy like Wandy Peralta. All right, Clark Schmidt, he was just sent down the other day, but he did make a few appearances so far this year, and I'm going to put him in the can't complain category because he's been solid, hasn't done anything. If you're a reliever that hasn't pissed me off, you're going to go for the most part in the can't complain category or the neutral category. JP Sears, I'll just put you in the neutral category. You weren't up too much with us, although you do look good and you definitely have some promising stuff. I don't really have too much substance to go off of. Luis Severino. This is tough. Should I put you in the... Because Sevy's first few starts are really good. Where does his stats sit at right now? So Sevy, right now, 5 starts, 24 innings. His ERA sits at 3.75. So at the very minimum, I'm going to put him in... I'm going to put him actually in the really good category because his first few starts were really good. And that's another thing. I meant to mention this in the beginning. I'm factoring in performance, obviously, but also like expectations. And Sevy coming off Tommy John surgery, 5 starts in, looking as good as he has. Although he has had some struggles, but... yeah, like I said, looking as good as he has, he's going in the really good category. Jameson Taillon, we're going to put you in the really good category, which the way he's been pitching probably would have been put in the can't complain. Not that he was bad at by any means, going into his Toronto start, but his Toronto start seals the deal. Really good category. Alec Manoah shut us down today, but Jameson Taillon was trading zeros with him, which was huge in that game that we ended up winning 7-1, which was probably my favorite game of the year. I think you got, not my favorite, but top 3 for sure. And Taillon was a big part of that. Kyle Higashioka, we got our first awful. He has just been brutal, yo. And this is just like, I guess, the poster child of 2022. Spring training stats don't mean anything because this dude, he was the Greg Bird of this year. He led MLB in home runs this spring with 7, and out of the gate, he's been awful. Let me pull up his stats right here. Kyle Higashioka, 17 games played. He's hitting 152, has a 31 WRC plus, which is really, really bad. Has not gone deep once. And like I said, he hit 7 homers in spring. So definitely... probably the biggest disappointment of any Yankees so far, and he's lost the starting catcher job. He's not totally out of there yet, but Jose Trevino has definitely played a lot more than Higashioka would have liked him to at this point. Speaking of Trevino, we're going to put you in the, once again, talking expectations. Now, his offensive stats, he had a good first few games. Right now, he's hitting, where's he at? So he's played 14 games. He's hitting 162. His WRC plus is actually lower than Higgy's, but because we're talking expectations, I'm putting him... man, he's made some really good stops. Screw it, yo. Can't complain or really good. This is tough. I wish there's kind of a category between can't complain and really good. I'm going to put a 23 weighted runs created plus is pretty bad. So we'll put you in can't complain, but I'll just consider the can't complain category as good in this case because Trevino has definitely not been disappointing or needed to see more or anything. Josh Donaldson. Okay, so he's definitely gotten off to not an ideal start. He's hitting 214 in 24 games, but he does have a 115 WRC plus. And for those who aren't familiar with this stat, WRC plus, I keep mentioning, to put it simply, league average is 100. Whatever you are above or below is how much you are better or worse than a league average offensive player. So in this case, Donaldson being at 115, he's been 15% better than a league average offensive player so far, which may not seem like it, but offense is down across all of baseball. So that's kind of why. But I mean, for a tough start, he has a 340 OBP, which isn't bad. So I can't put him in the can't complain category, actually. So I'll put you at the neutral, need to see more, because we definitely do need to see more from Josh Donaldson, although I'm not like worried about him by any means. Marwin Gonzalez, dude, bench-wise, he's been really solid. And how about that Duke the other day, which, he was out. I think we can all admit to that. Not that it mattered. We ended up winning the game. The umpires were brutal. I think Blue Jays fans would be on the same page as this. Yankee fans, umpires were absolutely brutal in this Blue Jays series, especially, I mean, props to Boone, for getting tossed, because that dude was really pissing me off yesterday. That call on multiple calls on Judge, and all game long, he was just really, his zone was just an extra, like, 2 balls off the plate on each side, and he was not consistent whatsoever. That dude he was a clown show. But yeah, we'll put Marwin Gonzalez in the really good category because he's definitely been playing well off the bench. Offensively, too. I got his stats real quick. I'm not going to go over the stats for everybody, I promise, because this video is going to be a million years long. But yeah, he's hitting 308 so far in 10 games. And he's had some big hits. Aroldis Chapman, we're going to put you in, I'll leave you just below incredible because he has given us the classic, like Aroldis Chapman, make us sweat every time he comes in. But he does, at this point, on May 5th, have a 0 ERA. So we'll put you in the really good category. Last year's Chapman, this far in, would have been in the incredible category because that's the best he ever looked. If you guys remember how he looked in early 2021, that was just insane. But, he's definitely been pitching well so far. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, okay, this is interesting. He's played well. He's hitting over 300. Hasn't done much more than just get singles, but, his defense has really come around. He's had a couple clutch hits. Also, speaking of what would have not been a clutch hit, but IKF, the ball to end the final game in the Blue Jays series, can't convince me that Vlad's foot wasn't off the bag. It looked off the bag to me. IKF should have been safe, and the Yankees should have tied the game. But clearly the umpires wanted to go home early, obviously. But IKF, where are we putting him at? I'll put you at, you know what? I'm going to put you at really good. Once again, factoring in expectations. Hitting 300, has had some clutch hits, played solid D, like I said. We'll put you in the really good category, IKF. DJ LeMahieu, that's an easy. We'll put you in the really good. It's clear that DJ is a better player than he was. Last year he was playing hurt, had a sports hernia, which anybody who's ever talked about playing baseball with a sports hernia, I've never had it, and I've also never played baseball at too high a level. But everybody who's ever talked about it say, like, it's basically impossible to play. And that's what DJ was dealing with for the most part of last year. He might have been somewhat still of like a juice ball merchant. Maybe his power is going to be like 25 homer a year type power. But so far he has an OPS over 800. He's hitting 294, has a 138 WRC plus. He's hit a couple homers. So yeah, DJ looking good so far. We'll put him in the really good category. Anthony Rizzo, we have our first incredible. Currently leads, or is tied for the league lead with somebody we'll get into in just a second. In all baseball, in home runs with 9, has been insane. Had a 3-homer game already. Has some really clutch hits, and definitely has probably been, I would say, the biggest difference maker in the Yankees lineup from this year compared to last year as a whole. Obviously, he was part of the team for a little bit last year, but between, the first half not being there and also having COVID being out, and then when he came back from COVID, he wasn't, really himself. In really good shape this year and has, yeah, like I said, I think been the biggest difference maker on the team so far. So he's our first incredible honor. This one is tough, Gabriel Torres, because there's a little bit of recency bias, which feels a little weird to say because, this is all recency bias. We're like 25 games in. But, yeah, Gabriel Torres. Okay, so he's been below league average. His hitting hasn't been great, but he's been heating up. And also, I tweeted this out today. Want to know something? You guys may not know this. Gabriel Torres leads all American League second baseman in defensive runs saved so far this year with 5, which is awesome. I'm going to put him in, he is hitting 222. He's had some clutch hits this year as well. I can't put him in the can't complain. I'll put in the need to see more just because we definitely do need to see more from Gleyber on a consistent basis. But, to give him some slack, he hasn't exactly had consistent playing time either. I'm actually feeling pretty confident about Gleyber, so in the neutral category / need to see more for now, but I could see him bumping up within the next month or so by the next time we do this. Joey Gallo, another guy who's been playing well lately, hit a homer yesterday. No, same with Gleyber. I mean, even though he's hot, we definitely need to see more because overall his season stats, what are we looking at right now? 22 games, yeah, he's hitting 188. Has a 93 WRC plus, so he's getting there to around a league average bat. You know what? No, I'm going to put him in the disappointing category. So far he has been disappointing, no doubt. But, yeah, me being optimistic, I could see very well by the next time I do one of these videos, he's 2 categories above, or even 3 categories above than what he is now. Aaron Hicks, I'm going to put you in, his OBP has been really high. Aaron Hicks is kind of a mixed bag for me because his defense isn't as good as it used to be, and he certainly is not good in clutch situations, as we saw last night But he has, out of the leadoff spot, he's been really good so far this year. What has he got? Like a 390 OBP, I believe. Yeah, 397 OBP, hitting 270. He has a homer, 5 RBIs, 122 WRC plus. Man, there really got to be a category between can't complain and really good. But can't complain, that's kind of just like also a good category for me right now. So we're going to put you in the can't complain because you've definitely been solid, Hicks. I do want to see a little bit more out of you from, in a big spot like we saw last night. Didn't come through, but, it's still early. Cut you a little bit of slack. Can't complain for Aaron Hicks. Aaron Judge, we have our second incredible player. Judge has been simply amazing, and it's funny because people were bashing Judge for not taking the $213 million that the Yankees gave him, and then I've been saying for a good while there are going to be teams that would give multiple teams that are going to give Aaron Judge $250 million on the open market from how good he is as a player, MVP caliber player, and also just personality, popularity. He's a face of baseball. I'm sorry. If you put get a bunch of kids in a room that are like regular, casual baseball fans, you put Tatis in there, Ohtani, and Judge, I guarantee you the highest percentage of the player who they would know, it would be Aaron Judge. So with popularity and the fact that he's an MVP caliber player, $250 million might be a bargain at this rate. I think there's a good chance he could actually be getting over $260 million come the offseason. But that's what this is about. He's hitting 293, 356 on base, 652 slugging. Tied for the league lead in homers with Anthony Rizzo at 9, 197 WRC plus, a 1.6 WAR, which is 4th in all of baseball. So Aaron Judge has been incredible. Incredible tier, no doubt. Giancarlo Stanton, we'll put you in. He's kind of had, an up and down season. Started out of the gate really hot, slumped, but then also has picked it up lately. We'll put you in the can't complain category right now, especially because, we know you're going to pick it up, continue to pick it up. Right now, where's he at? I know he's been above league average. He's at a 113 WRC plus right now. It's hitting 266. OBP, definitely want to get that higher. His walk rate is down. This year he's at a 297 OBP. Has 5 homers, but, thing is, Stanton, the fact that he's been hitting the ball well lately, you just got to bank on the fact that we're beginning one of those tears that Stanton goes on because, he is streaky. Nobody denies that. So Stanton, we'll put in can't complain. And by the next time we do this, he'll probably either be in really good or incredible. Garrett Cole, 2 really good starts in a row. I'm going to put in, he's Garrett Cole, so we'll put in the can't complain, which can't complain / good category. Obviously started off really slow, but, looked really good against Cleveland. Also looked really good against Kansas City as well. So put in the can't complain category, but same deal with like Stan. Probably going to be in the really good, maybe in the incredible tier by the next time we do this. Nestor Cortez struggled yesterday in Toronto, but it's funny because a bad start for Nestor was still, he only gave up 2 runs in 4 innings, so he kept us in the game. We'll put you in the really good category. A couple weeks ago, maybe he would have been incredible, but for now, really good, which is awesome. Out of our 5th starter to be in the really good category, and that's not just based on expectations. If these were Garrett Cole's numbers, he would be in the really good category. So awesome job by Nestor so far. Chad Green, what are his stats looking like? Because I know he had that one bad game on the series finale the Saturday game against Cleveland where he gave up that go-ahead bomb to Austin Hedges. Where's he looking at right now? So 10 1/3 innings. He has a 3.48 ERA. 8.71 K per 9. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the need to see more category, but kind of like a high need to see more. Like he hasn't been awful, but he definitely can pitch better than he has been. Clay Holmes, ooh, he might be. Yeah, we got to put him in the incredible category. He's been lights out. Enough said. He's been, let's see, 0.69 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 9 K per 9. He's been filthy, no doubt about it. Michael King, another incredible category. Leads all relievers in WAR. I'm pretty sure he's 3rd in general and just pitchers in WAR so far. He's got 17 2/3 innings pitched, 0.51 ERA, 12.74 K per 9. Had another 3 shutout innings last night against Toronto, which is one of the best offenses in the league. He's the real deal. So incredible for Mike King. I figure that'll probably be the last incredible. Judge, Rizzo, Holmes, and King. So I think that completes the incredible tier. Last 4, Loizaga, need to see more. He hasn't looked great so far this year. He's had some promising appearances, but definitely not as good as he was last year. I'm not worried about him, but I don't feel like I can put him anywhere above need to see more. Lucas Licky, what are his stats looking at? I feel like he's definitely not been great. Yeah, 4.15 ERA, need to see more. Relievers, like I said in the beginning, it's tough to really grade them so far. I don't want to put him in the disappointing category yet because, shortened spring training, yada, yada, yada. Need to see more out of Lucas Licky, though. Ron Marnacchio, local to my hometown, Toms River. Went to Toms River North. Had a couple really good appearances, including, I think it was opening day, where he pitched out of a pretty big jam. I'm kind of indifferent. We'll just go neutral category. He was fine. And Miguel Castro, I'll put you in can't complain. I definitely want the Yankees. This might be a hot take. I want them to get one more reliever, just because Miguel Castro, he's been really good. But I don't want him, he was pitching in the 7th inning against the Blue Jays the other day. I don't want him to be that high leverage. I like him being kind of like very much more middle of the pack, right? And we do have Zach Britton coming back, so whether or not you want to look at that as a potential acquisition, I'm sure Brian Cashman will call it that at the deadline. But yeah, Miguel Castro has definitely been solid. I just don't want him to be, I don't want him to be relied upon the same way we rely on like Clay Holmes or Jonathan Loáisiga. I want him to be one tier below that. But yeah, for his role so far, he's been really good. Where's he at? So he has a 1.80 ERA in 10 innings. Definitely has a walk problem though. His walk per 9 right now is over 7. So that's not good, but he has good stuff. And that was kind of I don't want to say a fleece by Cashman, because Joely Rodriguez is a nice pitcher, but he's a limited pitcher. He can only really get out left-handers, and with the 3-batter minimum rule, yeah, I don't want to say makes him useless, but Miguel Castro definitely gives us better value than Joely Rodriguez would have. So good trade by Cashman there. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. We have run out of players. Looking really good. Only one player in the awful category, which is Higgy. Disappointing, Joey Gallo, but hope you trending up. A lot of these guys, who are in like the lower tier of this list, I very well could see climbing up. Maybe not Higgy. I mean, he just looks brutal behind the plate, and like I said, he's kind of lost his job a little bit. But yeah, things are looking good. This was fun. I think I'm gonna do another one of these. Maybe I would say once a month, but I would probably say at least one more before the All-Star break. Maybe that's when we'll do it. We'll do one before the All-Star break. Yankees are 18-7, best record in baseball. Things are looking good. Enjoying baseball season. I know you guys are as well. Let me know what you think of my list. Comment if you disagree, agree, and yeah, I will see you guys next time. Let's go, Yankees.